I'm ready. I'm ready.
Oh my god, you're ready? I'm ready
I'm
too.
ready.
Hi everyone, and welcome back. Welcome to Gagworthy. I'm Layne Coffin,
And I'm DollThighs.
and we're here to launch our new show where we just talk about whatever's Gagworthy this week. Stick with
Yeah.
us. It's gonna be a rough ride at first, I think.
Yeah. Our new rebrand. Yeah, if you've been
Yeah.
here for a while, we're kind of changing up a format a little bit
And I'm kind of
of our
changing up genders a
podcast.
bit.
Yeah, you tend to do that.
hmm
I am not that powerful, I fear.
But the format of this show, just so y'all know, is that we're going to be bringing in every week stories about current events, politics, pop culture, our personal lives that we personally think are gag worthy, and we're going to discuss them here.
Do you have politic topics?
Not this week. I didn't really feel like getting
Okay.
that depressing right off the bat.
No, same. I was thinking about it and I was like, what's going on in politics? Everything's terrible, and we're all very aware of that. So it just didn't seem like worth diving into. It's really hard to identify in politics even what would be gag worthy because everything about American politics right now is just absolutely insane. So,
Yeah, sometimes I wonder, like, is presenting this topic on a show called Gagworthy really the
yeah,
stage
like when we were talking
where
about alligator Alcatraz, we were going to talk about the concentration camps they're building in America. Is that gag worthy? I just don't know.
but
So,
yeah,
do you want to
but
go first? Do you have a topic?
sure.
What's gag worthy to you this week?
Okay, I can't avoid this topic by talking about it later. I'm currently gagged by Mormons in Salt Lake City on television. Like,
That's real.
I knew this would be a shared topic because it's no
Yeah,
secret we've been spending every night for the past, like, what, 2 months
it's been a
watching
while.
a combination of The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives and The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
And I can't help it. I'm completely enthralled, and I can't stop.
Obsessed.
Yeah, I'm obsessed. I can't stop watching them.
It's unnerving. Like, honestly, like, it's really crazy. I just feel like, in general, like, America's, like, fascination with cults is really just wild. Like, I've always loved cults because I just find it, like, insane. That sounds like a crazy thing to say. I feel like I've always loved cults as an insane take. But I find, like, the amount of cults in America is just, like, absolutely baffling. And there's a ton of them specifically in Utah because
hmm
for whatever reason, I mean, I'm sure I didn't do a deep dive on history, but I do know that Utah has like an insane past with like Mormonism, and the guy who started Mormonism, who basically like created Mormonism as a way to like create his own like militia fueled by religion, and then would like use his like personal Mormon army to like basically claim territory in and around Utah. He was also like the governor of Utah for a while. Like, it's really crazy that it's like he started a religion and also was the governor and basically just made the state like a Mormon state. And to this day, that state is riddled with Mormons.
Oh yeah, it's
And
like
they're like
the
proud of it.
headquarters. Oh well, I mean, yeah, it's like their Disneyland.
Yeah.
It's
It's like
it's
when we're watching The Real Housewives and it's like Whitney is like, I'm descended from Rickshaw Morton or whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? It's like they trace their lineage back to these like crazy old timey Mormons that were just like using their military to take land from indigenous people.
just a heads up.
Insane.
The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City is we're not neither of us are really like Real Housewives fans. It's just particularly
No.
this season that has really gotten us. And there's something special in the sauce because there's so much
Because
of
they're
a
all
focus
crazy
on their different
religious fanatics.
religions. And so like they have a collection of women who, like, some of them are active Mormons, some of them are Christians, some of them are Christians but they lead their own church cult,
Yeah.
and some of them are like ex-Mormons who go about their
Mm-hmm.
ex-Mormonism kind of differently. Like,
There's also Jen Shaw is Muslim.
yes.
She's an ex-Mormon who became Muslim, and then also Meredith is Jewish, and they don't really talk about it that much, except for that one scene where she has like, I think she has like Shabbat dinner or something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember which holiday it was, but she invites her best friend Lisa over, who later calls her a garbage whore. One of the best scenes in the show so far. Um, but there's a like an interview with Lisa where they ask her about like what she thinks about like her friend's religion because like Meredith is Jewish, and Lisa's like, well, the church doors are open. It's all like, what the fuck? And they never address that in the reunion, that like Lisa's fully implying that she thinks her friend is going to hell for being Jewish, which I
Mm-hmm.
mean, that's how all religious people are in my personal experience.
Or they're going to the outer darkness or whatever.
Oh, true, true, true. Yeah. Well, no, no, no. Outer Darkness, I believe, is reserved for specifically ex-Mormons. In the
Oh, right.
Mormon church, I could be wrong. Like, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, because I'm not an expert. I just know what I've learned from reality television. But from my understanding, the lowest level of, like, heaven in Mormonism is specifically for ex-Mormons. Because the idea is that it's like, they were given the gospel and they learned
Yeah.
all of the
It's like they
Mormon
were
stuff
involved in the
and they
correct
refused
way
it.
and they shunned it so that way they're lower than serial killers like Jeffrey Dahmer according to
Literally.
Heather.
Which it makes sense because in most cults you would reserve like a specific punishment for someone who leaves your
Yeah, to
cult.
keep people scared so they stay. It's like the threat
Yeah.
of leaving is a fate worse than death.
Yeah, and speaking of cults, Mary Cosby, one of the Real Housewives, runs a cult, a
Insane.
Christian cult,
Mm-hmm.
which is crazy. Every piece of footage we see of her running her church cult thing is insane. And she's also married to her grandfather. So
Mm-hmm.
it's definitely worth watching. Like, if you've never
I
seen The
would
Real
say if you're gonna
Housewives of
watch
Salt
any
Lake
of the
City,
Housewives seasons, watch Salt Lake City. It's like so much happens
it's
every episode. It's crazy.
a very special piece of television. I just
Yeah.
hope they can keep the momentum because it's like I feel like Jen Shaw is going to go to prison and not return to the show. And I think Mary Cosby is going to leave soon. We're about to start season 3. So I'm kind of scared that it's not going to be as good, but I don't
Yeah,
know.
I'm a little worried, but so far it's been a wild ride and I've been loving it. Honestly,
Yeah.
after transitioning from watching Secret Lives of Mormon Wives to the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, the Mormon Wives one doesn't compare. Does
No, the
not
Mormon
compare
wives.
to the scope of the drama in the Real Housewives.
I feel like the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives is like fun, but it's really just like a bunch of like
It feels
really
like Mormon
young.
propaganda in a way. Like they're trying to be like, see, these are
Yeah,
practicing Mormons and they're fun and they're like modern women doing fun
right.
things. And I'm like,
Even though like they don't seem to observe like any of the laws of Mormonism. I feel like Mormonism in general is just such a crazy religion because they just changed the rules willy nilly too.
yeah.
Like in the 80s when they decided that it's okay to be black. Remember how before the 80s being black was literally like a sin in Mormonism?
Yeah, they you literally
That's
weren't allowed
crazy.
in the
Like
church. Like,
what the
which
fuck?
once again comes up in the Real Housewives because Jen Shaw exits the Mormon religion because she learns about that.
Yeah.
Which is
That's
crazy.
that a whole yeah, if you're Mormon and you're listening to this,
Stop.
wild. Stop. I've never met a like practicing Mormon. I've met a lot of ex-Mormons. Actually, it's not true. I actually told you recently about when I was in college. I worked with a Mormon who
Mm-hmm.
he was our like there's a lot of Mormons in theater. I completely forgot about this because like there's a lot of theater in Utah. Utah has like one of the country's biggest and most prolific Shakespeare festivals.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people come from Utah and like work at other places because they get like a lot of really high level theater training. I totally forgot about that. And he went back to Utah, I remember.
Oh.
Because it wasn't like, when I lived in Maryland, like Maryland wasn't like Mormon enough for him. So he like took his whole family back to Utah to go be more Mormon.
That's crazy.
He's a nice guy though. Like overall, he was a nice dude. He never like did or said anything weird. He was. The weird thing about Mormons is that I'm like pretty sure it's not okay to be gay, but
No.
like.
Well, I think it's one of those things where they like expect you to not act on it. They just expect you like, even if you are gay, you just get a wife and start a family, and that's how you deal with it.
They always seem very like liberal about it whenever I meet a Mormon. Because like I feel like a lot of times when I meet a Christian who's like super homophobic, it's very obvious. With Mormons, I feel like it's not as obvious most of the time. Maybe they are still homophobic, or maybe they just don't give a fuck. I don't know. I can't tell.
They never really, on the show, our main experience with Mormonism is these shows, and they don't typically talk about gay people a lot, especially on like The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, which supposedly they're all like active Mormons. They barely talk about gay
That's
people.
True. Well, except for all their gay husbands.
Yeah, except for their gay
They're
husbands.
all sucking and fucking each other. Because in that show, truly, part of the fun is that they're all married to gay men. And they have terrible marriages. Every single one of them. Like, at least with the Real Housewives, I look at their marriages and I'm like, yeah, this makes sense. Like, I can see that, like, these people at least care about each other and are probably having sex.
The relationships feel a little more real.
Yeah, in the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, I don't believe any of them are in a real relationship. All of their husbands are fucking each other. It's crazy. And if you go to their TikToks, all their husbands are just making gay TikTok content with each other for some reason.
Because
it's
like we're
really
in on
weird.
the joke, except for we do just actually want to straddle each other.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Okay, great.
What do you got?
Well,
what do you got that's gag-worthy?
Okay. I'm going to start with the main thing I want to talk about, which is, do you know about Erin Patterson?
Erin Patterson.
Have you ever heard of this woman?
No.
Great. So, great. I get to tell you about her because this is crazy. So, there's a woman named Erin Patterson. She's from Melbourne, Australia.
Okay.
And she was just convicted of murdering 3 of her family members. And the reason I want to talk about this, this is such a fun topic, is because she murdered them via like poisoning.
Oh.
She invited them over to dinner, and she, like, we have always lived in the castle style, cooked them individual meals with death cap mushrooms, and she poisoned her in-laws, she poisoned her husband's mother and father, and his sister and his sister's husband, and 3 of them died. 1 of them lived. She just got convicted. They were like, yeah, she definitely did that shit on purpose, because craziest detail, she had made them all individual meals, and she like had hers served on a completely different plate, like a completely different size and shape and style, so she like wouldn't accidentally poison herself. Makes perfect sense. But I'm just like, I read about this and I was like, I never want to go to anyone's house for dinner again, because I feel like genuinely a lot of people don't like me. And like, this is like, I feel so bad for these people. Like, obviously this is a tragedy, and like it sucks that they got poisoned and all that stuff. It happened a couple of years ago. Obviously she was just convicted, which takes many years in like any legal system. But like, that's so fucking crazy. And now I'm so paranoid, because like I thought we were done poisoning people, like as a society. Like I thought we kind of like moved on from that. Because you don't think about it. Like, especially in America, it's like when people get murdered, it's like gun violence.
Yeah, we just have guns. Like, why would you bother with poison when you can just buy a gun at Walmart instead?
But also, it's like, if you were good at poisoning people, you could really get away with it. I mean, she obviously made like a bunch of huge errors. Like, she did a bunch of dumb shit. Like, for instance, she told them she wanted to have a conversation about her health. So that's why there was no kids at the dinner. It was just the adults. But then she told them all she had cancer, but then she didn't have cancer. So it's like when like this was so stupid because it's like, don't you think this is gonna come up later when everyone's suspiciously dead? The fact that you called this dinner to tell everyone you have cancer but you don't have cancer. Like, she did so much dumb shit, which is why she got caught. But yeah, now
I
I'm
don't
totally
know
afraid
if there
that
was
someone's
really a
gonna
way
murder
to
me.
just get away with this situation to begin with. It just seems like, oh, I'm gonna make everybody dinner, and then mysteriously everybody at the dinner gets poisoned and dies, but me. Don't know how I'm gonna explain that.
It is really crazy. It's a really crazy idea. Like, I feel like there
Maybe that's
are
why
like
poisonings fell out of favor, because it's really hard to really, like, it's to explain that in a way that isn't like, what else would it be?
I don't know. I'm so terrified. Literally the other day, one of my friends invited me over for dinner, and I went. And one of the friends that I had never met before brought mushrooms that he foraged in the woods,
Mm-mm.
and they cooked them and put them in the food. And I was like, yeah,
I
that's
would never
fine.
trust that. See, in other
I
countries, in
usually
like Europe,
don't.
and like in France and stuff, you can actually go to like a pharmacy, like they're chemists, and
The chemist, the druggist.
they're trained in identifying mushrooms so that
Mm-hmm.
you can bring in your wild foraged mushrooms and they will go through them and take out the poisonous ones.
Oh, that's nice.
Like, that's just
In what
smart.
country?
I know
Just
they
like
do
in
that
other
for a fact in
countries.
France.
I mean,
In America,
I
you just have to
have
trust that the person doing the foraging knows what they're doing and isn't trying
I
to kill
have
you.
known a lot of people who forage mushrooms. Most people who forage mushrooms, they're looking for a specific kind, obviously. Like,
Hmm.
they're like foraging for like psychedelic mushrooms, which do grow in nature. Um, but a lot of them are like hippies who like also will just forage mushrooms to eat anyway. So like, it's not my first time eating someone's like foraged mushrooms, but now I'm fucking scared because
Yeah,
like
there's easy mistakes to make.
I'm more worried somebody's gonna intentionally poison my ass and be
Mm.
like, oh, oops, I accidentally picked the wrong mushroom, and then I'm fucking dead. Because also, I'm vegan, so every single time I go to someone's house for dinner, which I hate doing to begin with, they're always like, oh, we made you like a special thing because like
But we
there's like
made you
cheese
your
or
own
meat or whatever.
special mushroom stew.
Right, and that's literally what it was. They made like a special like marinara sauce and shit from scratch for me, and it was delicious and it was so nice. But now I'm like, damn, they could have dead ass just poisoned me, and like they would have just been like, oh, it was an accident. We like foraged the wrong mushrooms, and they probably would have gotten away with that. Maybe
Well,
I don't
gotten
know.
away with it is like a strong, like they would still probably be charged with
Do you
like
think so?
yeah, if you kill somebody even on accident, you still get in trouble.
But like a cooking accident?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, it's still like negligent homicide or whatever. Like you
But I feel like
still
that's like
they don't
different
just
from
go
like
whoopsie, oh well.
yeah, I feel like it's just different
You
from
still
like
killed a
hitting someone with your
person.
car. Like, it's a different kind of.
Mm,
I don't know. I
it's
personally
definitely
believe.
different. Like if it was an allergy and they didn't disclose it, still you would still get in trouble. But like
I'm like
you
pretty
put poison in
sure.
the food, whether or not you intentionally did it. You put poison in the food that you prepared for someone,
I
and they
firmly
died.
firmly believe that people get murdered all the time and nobody finds out and nobody ever notices. Like, I firmly believe that. I think people are getting away with murder left and right. I mean, who's gonna figure it out? The police?
No, true crime podcasters.
The true crime podcasters. Maybe that should be our next rebrand. We'll just start doing true crime podcasts and start solving murders. Oh, you know what murder I want to solve? The Cape Cod serial killer.
Well, that's why we need to go there.
We need to go to Cape Cod and
Yeah.
get serial killed.
Well, I'll use you as bait.
Do you think it would work? I haven't looked into this. Like, people are saying that there is no Cape Cod serial killer. Like, their bodies aren't. They're not. There's not enough similarities in the murders to be like this is a serial killer. That's what like the authorities are saying. But there are a lot of rumors that there's a Cape Cod serial killer right now, which is terrifying.
Because
But
you're so
I don't.
close.
Well, well, I'm not, but like, people. I mean, literally, my friends who I just had dinner with are there right now. Like, people just go to Cape Cod all the time because it's not that far away. I think I'm in New York. It's probably like from Buffalo. It's got to be like 8 hours max. Like, it's like a drivable distance. I could get there in a day. I think I've been to Massachusetts before. I've never been to Cape Cod though. I'm too poor for that.
I've never been anywhere near that.
Oh, I was just saying I've never been anywhere in my life.
I've never left
like,
my house.
Didn't you like move across the country?
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure.
From Texas to Washington State with a duffel bag.
We both moved from the south to the north. I mean, I wasn't that south, but I don't know, Maryland's like not that south.
I fled
it's like
early as soon as I could.
I kind of did too. But Maryland's not like a homophobic kind of south. It's like a lots of gun violence and rich politicians
Yeah.
that I don't want to be around. Anyway, that's what I was really dying to talk about. Continue. What's the next gag-worthy shit that happened to you?
I need to talk about, and this is another topic that you're going to have a lot to say. We need to talk about, and just like that being canceled. Truly one of the most shows on television. It was such an insane ride, start to finish, for And Just Like That. Coming off of Sex and the City, they're like, okay, we're finally ready to continue these stories with, all the characters minus Samantha being, further along in age, and how are they now? And the answer is, not really meaningfully different in a lot of ways.
Yeah. Well, mostly they're worse.
Yeah. Well, it's like, let's take Sex and the City and take out the humor, make it so politically correct that it's nauseating. And
yeah, it's actually, I would even argue that And Just Like That is so politically correct that it is offensive.
Yes.
Like, there's times when it's like, it feels so woke that it's like sarcastically woke. It just feels like this can't be genuine or serious. Like, they are making a joke about non-binary people by having a non-binary character named Rock. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't make any fucking sense.
The other thing is, the characters feel like weird caricature people, not like the more matured, like 20 years older Miranda or Charlotte or
No.
Carrie. They still act like they're still like 25 or like 30. They still don't have their lives together. They're still a mess.
They are so different from the original, which is crazy because they're all played by the same actors.
Yeah.
But Charlotte has become this, like...
Charlotte has turned into a cartoon character.
Yeah, like, she literally is just Anna Faris now in Scary Movie. Like, that's what she's doing for some reason. And then Miranda has, like, lost all agency and has become this, like, completely unhinged mess of a person who's also gay now.
Yeah. Well, like,
and like
season 1
does the wrong thing.
Was miserable. It didn't feel like Sex and the City. It was just all about Carrie grieving big, and it was so miserable. And they brought in characters that were insufferable. And it was almost unwatchable.
There were too many new characters. They added 3 new characters. 4. They added 4 new characters because there's Shay, the professor, Lisa, and Seema. They added 4 characters to replace Samantha, which is crazy because I think what they realized as they went along is they don't have to replace Samantha as Samantha. They had to replace, like, they just had to fill time.
Yeah.
So they just needed to create new characters that somehow fit in with the friend group, which they figured out along the way. And they also did cut, like, in the later seasons, they cut Shay because Shay is no longer in. They're not in season 3.
No.
And then neither is the professor. So
Mm-mm.
they cut it down to just Lisa and
Seema.
Seema, which I think was smart because the show is longer, so it's nice to have like a little bit of extra characters. And they also added in more stuff with like a lot of the side characters. Like we see a lot of plots with like Anthony now, which that's another thing that was insanely handled by that show was the fact that the actor who played Stanford died in the middle of filming season 1. And I guess because season 1 was all about the death of Big, they just didn't want to address the death of a main actor who played a main character. So they just wrote him out of the show in a insane way that was so disrespectful.
So
and
disrespectful.
Then also, they just replaced him in the episodes with Anthony.
Yeah.
Because, like, it didn't make sense why Anthony was, like, suddenly, like, coming to their lunches. And, like, Anthony was never friends with the group the way that Stanford was. Like, Stanford was, like, Carrie's best friend. And Anthony was just, like, a bitchy gay guy who was there occasionally because he was friends with Charlotte. He never really seemed to like Carrie or Miranda, and I barely interacted with Samantha, I feel like.
But, like, my impression of it just like that, like the roller coaster between the 3 seasons has been the first season was nearly unwatchable to the point where if you weren't the one that was getting me to watch this, I wouldn't have continued because it was so bad.
It's bad.
Season
it's really
2
bad.
actually started to course correct a lot actually, and started becoming a little bit more focused. The characters started to feel better. Until it took a nosedive at the end of the season and everything got fucked up again. And then we go into season 3 and it feels like a fever dream where there's no focus, nothing makes sense, and just insane. Like, the reason we kept watching is because it was so insane. So many crazy things would happen every episode that don't make sense. Rosie O'Donnell playing a virgin lesbian nun.
Virgin nun that fucks Miranda. Like, what?
Crazy.
The fucking scene with the
karaoke parties.
Miranda Miranda knocks on her neighbor's door and he opens it full frontal naked holding a meat cleaver. Like, the most recent episode we watched where fucking Anthony's boyfriend Giuseppe, his roommate, makes puppets of Giuseppe and jerks off to them.
Yeah.
Like, there's so much crazy shit in season 3. I'm like, this has gone completely off the rails in the exact way I wanted it to, and now
we were finally enjoying ourselves.
Yeah, like every episode I watch expecting something crazy to happen, and I'm not disappointed.
And now it's gone. So
yeah, now it's gonna end, and I'm sure they'll probably make some like terrible and just like that movie.
Oh my! Do you think so? The reason why they're like cutting it is because viewership has dipped so low and they don't have anything else to say apparently, so I think it's just ending.
They'll probably just do like another like Sex and the City movie or
like Sex and the City made their movie as a finale to the TV show, and the viewership was still great for Sex and the City. People still loved Sex and the City, so like it was still like at the peak of its popularity when they decided to do a movie to wrap things up.
Yeah.
It's just like that, we're at an all-time low of interest and viewership. I don't think they're investing in a movie.
I don't know.
I don't think
I would
so.
not put it past it. I think you underestimate how
not
much
unless
power
Sarah Jessica Parker personally
King
funds it herself.
I feel like Michael Patrick King and Sarah Jessica Parker have a lot more sway at HBO than you would like imagine. Because Michael Patrick King has created like a number of like hit shows, not just Sex and the City. He also did like Two Broke Girls. Like he's created like a bunch of TV shows. The Comeback, which like I wonder if that's part of why he's kind of pulling back on and just like that because he's working on season 3 of The Comeback. Maybe.
I don't know. Maybe they'll
allegedly,
do like a streaming only.
Allegedly,
movie.
The show was not canceled. Allegedly, they chose to end.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Like,
it's like also they're just ending it because they're just like, we don't have anything else to do with these stories and stuff.
Right. But I don't know. I could definitely see them bringing it back. I would bet money on it. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh.
Well. Okay. Well. My next Gagworthy topic. Thank you for asking. is is I this is more of a personal more of a personal note. I'm gagged by how butch I have been lately. Not visually or like
Oh,
emotionally,
okay.
but like in the sense that I've done so much like hard manual construction labor on my house alone in the past like week or two, and I'm kind of like slaying it. Like, it's like I have no idea what I'm doing. I have a
Mm.
friend whose father is a contractor, and he has a lot of experience working with his father, like doing and I would say like serious experience, like building houses and shit like that. So like he knows what he's talking about. So I just ask him like, hey, how do I do this thing? And he tells me like what tools to buy and how to do it. And then I've just been winging it, and it's been going pretty well so far. And also what I've
Slay.
realized in the process is that my ex-boyfriend who did a lot of work on the house really just fucked a lot of shit up all the time. Like I'm really like right now I'm putting down like a
Can't
quarter
wait to
round
see how their new
trim.
house turns out.
I I'm not going to go into that on the podcast. But what I will say is that I've been putting down like a quarter round trim in one of the rooms, which is like just a
Mm.
trim you put. It's like a shoe molding you put at the edge of the floor. Because when he put down the most recent flooring that he decided to do for some reason, he just basically like I had like old original hardwood floors. This house is like 120 years old, and he was like, "I hate them. I'm gonna buy vinyl flooring and put it over them," um, which I'm not even gonna get into it. He decided to do that without even like really asking me or talking about it. I just woke up one day and he had covered the entire living room and dining room with this like cheap vinyl flooring.
Ew.
It looks okay. It's not terrible. At any moment, I can rip it up and like
Yeah.
have the hardwood floors back. But the problem is the hardwood floors needed to be refinished. But I was kind of just like, why? If you were gonna pay like probably $2,000-3,000 for
Why
all
not
this
just get them
vinyl flooring,
refinished?
literally, like it's not that expensive to have hardwood floors refinished. Like it's expensive, but like it
But
would
like
have been
it's
about the
expensive to
same
buy a bunch
price,
of
maybe a
shitty
little
vinyl
more.
flooring too and put it down yourself.
Literally. And he also put it down very like janky, so that's kind of what I've been dealing with is that I'm now trying to finish the edges of the room where he put it down poorly, and it's been a fucking nightmare. But I'm very proud of myself, and it's looking much better, and I feel so
I would have
butch
broken
and
up with
so
him over just
powerful.
that.
I mean, this is not the only time that he's. I also remember one time. I think I've told you about this. The day I woke up and like they had painted the stairs beige.
Oh my
Did I tell you about
god.
that?
Once again, I
They
would have broken
fully
up right then and there.
beige. My
Ugh.
staircase is beige,
Ugh.
which is crazy on like multiple levels. One, it's just ugly. It looks fucking terrible. Who the fuck paints a staircase beige? Two, it's like a really light color. It's like having a white floor.
Yeah,
It
it's
gets
just gonna get
dirty
it's gonna get so
instantly.
dirty and gross and
Literally.
grimy.
I have to vacuum it like fucking every other day or it looks disgusting because I have a long-haired cat now. Other gag-worthy topic, complete side note, I have a long-haired cat now. I have
She's
a
so
new cat.
precious.
I should
love
show her. Buffy, come here. Come here. Come be on the pod for the viewers. I'm gonna grab Buffy. Keep talking. Just kidding. She left. She's gone.
Okay,
Oh, there
well,
she is.
if you can't get her, we'll insert a picture of her.
No, I got her.
You got her?
Yeah. If you're
She's
watching
so
on the YouTube or any
precious.
of the visual versions, here's
Oh,
Buffy.
look how beautiful she is.
I'm in love with her.
She's
But yeah, she does make
stunning.
cleaning my house living nightmare. And she makes the floor. I hope that she kind of matches the background. Okay, goodbye. But yeah, so I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of proud of myself. Like I feel like that's gag worthy.
I'm glad
'Cause, like,
that
you know what's-
after, 10 years, you're finally going to get to live in the house you want to live in.
Yeah, no, same. And honestly, it's kind of overwhelming because now that I can do whatever I want to my house because I'm single.
You have
and
full
I can-
creative control,
it's
and
my
now you're
fucking house.
paralyzed by choice.
Literally, I want to redesign this entire room I'm in right now, and I need like a concept.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll figure that out. But what I was gonna say is that I feel like when I was younger, I kind of, especially when I was in college and I was studying like costume design and like clothing and fabric and all that kind of shit, I kind of got this like complex about like how like I can't do like butch like carpentry things because what would happen is it's like I took costume design classes and that was kind of like my focus in college, but then I also took scenic design and I
Mm-hmm.
had to work in the scene shop and all that stuff. But because all of the scenic design people knew that I was good with fabric and I was good with costuming and I knew how to run a sewing machine, which obviously not a lot of like people who are doing carpentry and shit are very good with sewing machines and shit like that. They would always send me to do all the like soft furnishing. So I would be making like pillows and cushions and
Mm.
curtains and all that kind of shit. And I never got to do any of the like butch stuff. They were never like, here, like cut all these fucking 2x4s. They were always just like, here, can you go make us 50 curtains? And I'd be like, yeah, sure, because that was like where I was comfortable with anyway. But I got this like complex about how I like can't use a saw. And it's like I'm literally using like a handsaw right now, and I'm like, oh, this is like really easy. I thought this was gonna be hard, but it's like so much easier than I imagined. Like, and then, which
I
almost
haven't
just
used a power tool since college when I used to be in the glass blowing program because
mm-hmm.
once you've done a piece, typically there's a lot of grinding, sanding, drilling, using a lathe. A lathe is a terrifying piece of machinery. Um, it's basically just like it's those machines you see where like you put something on the end of it and it has like a rod that spins and your piece is like spinning horizontally and you can use that to like carve or sand or whatever like that.
Like a is it like a sideways pottery wheel?
You can think of it as something like that, yeah. But it's like it's an incredibly expensive industrial piece of machinery that will not stop for anything. So if you get your hair caught
Mm.
in it, it'll just scalp you. It'll just rip your flesh right off.
Love
That
that.
and using like
Did
giant
you ever
saw
like?
blades.
Did you ever go in with a wig and like pretend you got your hair
I
caught in
wasn't
it
wearing
just to
wigs
like scare
then.
people? You should have. I think that would be a really fun trick, a really fun like prank to play on people.
But yeah, it's like I was using tons of like terrifying machinery, including
Yeah,
giant saws. And
yeah.
um I would sometimes try to get I would get the straight guys to use it for me. I'd be like, "Can you cut this for me?"
I used to do the same thing. Like I have
Well, because I always
used
have these
giant
like I would always
saws. It's just
catastrophize things because in
scary
my mind because mental illness, and so I think like I'm gonna go
because you
out
know
there
mental
alone.
illness.
I'm gonna use the saw blade. Either the saw blade's gonna like shatter and the pieces are gonna go everywhere and I'm gonna die, or the piece of glass. I'm using a giant saw on glass, so if it
I
shatters, glass is gonna fly everywhere.
know somebody that something kind of like that happened to because when so I obviously used to do costuming and it's funny because you don't think of like sewing as like that like hazardous, but it's also extremely dangerous, especially when you're doing industrial like
Oh yeah.
sewing with industrial sewing machines. They can literally sew through your bones. And I knew a girl who she was working an industrial sewing machine once and the needle snapped and flew directly into her eyeball,
Ugh.
and she was like basically blind in one eye because like it's just like sometimes the needle just snaps and it just shoots directly into, like sometimes you're just that fucking unlucky. Some people literally use like
Wear
safety goggles
your
when they
safety
sew.
goggles.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, I've sewn a million times. I've never had anything like that. Because most of the time on a regular, like a domestic sewing machine, when the needle snaps, it's like, it's still attached. Like the thread is through the needle, so it's still like attached. It doesn't usually like shoot somewhere. But industrial sewing machines go so fast and it's so hard that it just like shatters
Mhm.
and flies everywhere. It's
Ugh, that's
terrifying.
so scary.
Okay, great. What's your next gag worthy moment of the day, of the week, of the month?
I want to talk about my new shave oil. Listen,
Oh.
before I started
What?
doing drag queen stuff, I never really did a lot of shaving. But
Okay.
now that I am, I've been, trying to
That's
find new
true.
things to make it easier and faster. And one of the things I've stumbled upon is I've been using a shave oil, which is like it works with my like electric razor trimmer thing. Um and B, unlike a traditional like big foamy like shaving cream, like I can see my skin and the hair and what's left and all that kind of stuff, and it glides really smoothly. So like I just shaved my like arms today and they're super smooth. They feel nice. I use it on my face It just
It's crazy
glides really
how
nice.
you're like so pale that you're like blue.
Yeah.
That's wild. I didn't even think about the fact that you really did used to be really hairy.
Yeah.
And now you're like a smooth, smooth, delicate woman. Eyebrowless.
Some sort of mole creature.
I we've talked about this before. It has nothing to do with you, but it does remind me. I just can't fuck people without eyebrows.
You're not
I
living.
don't. I just don't know why. Whenever somebody without eyebrows like messages me, I'm just like, I just can't do it.
Just ask them to draw some on. It's fine. That's what I do whenever I go out and about in
Could
my
you just
daily
draw
life.
some eyebrows on really quickly?
It's not hard. I can put them back
It isn't,
on.
but also it's like sometimes people just naturally have very like fine hair, like, or you know what I mean. It's like they just have like really blonde,
Hmm.
light hair. It just looks like they don't have eyebrows. I don't think a lot of men like that are like out there drawing on their eyebrows every day.
Well, they should
I
learn.
feel like, well, maybe I'll the next time somebody like that messages me on Grinder, I'll send them to you and be like, here,
Or
we're
what
gonna
you
teach you
should
how
do is just
to.
take their picture, Photoshop eyebrows on them, and send it back.
That would be insane. I sent you a picture recently. It was a Grinder photo, and the guy had like he had like photoshopped hair onto himself. Do you remember that?
Yeah,
Did you look at that?
I
But it looked
did.
like it was like paper doll hair. Like he had taken like he just cut someone else's hair out and just stuck it on his head. And like it wasn't on properly either. Like I could see like a whole gap on like the side of the head where he was bald. That was crazy.
Mm.
It's like, who the fuck is this for? Like, are you a bot or something? Like, why is this happening? Like, also at this point, like, if you're gonna go that far to like edit your photos, you can literally just AI generate like a fake person at that point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like this is not what you look like if you're stamping photoshopped hair onto your head. Insane. I was that it? Just shave oil? Was there more to that story? Or
No, like I said, some of these topics are just.
okay,
I'm gagged by my
great.
shave oil. It
'Cause
feels great.
I have a crazy one, and I don't know how much we could really get into this, but I recently learned that Lizzie Borden probably didn't actually murder her family.
Oh yeah, we discussed this.
And I felt like, to me, that's gag worthy because I always think of like serial killers, and especially like female serial killers. There's not that many like prolific female serial killers that people talk
Oh
about
yeah, because like
regularly.
supposedly like she just sort of became like this infamous kind of pop culture figure because of the sensationalism of the story around the murders, and it wasn't based in fact in any way. It was just like people just started
No.
using that story and they just ran with it.
Yeah, it's like the only real facts are like, yes, her parents were murdered with an axe brutally,
Mm-hmm.
like many axe attacks to the back of their head. Um, but when you look at the actual case, there's so much weird shit that happened like in and around the time. One of my favorite details I learned is that for some reason the whole family had diarrhea for like the week leading up to it. Like they all just had diarrhea and they didn't have toilets. So like for the week before, basically Lizzie Borden's dad was just having like diarrhea in the chamber pot and then dumping it on the like on the front lawn. Like he was just dumping his diarrhea shit on their front lawn every day for like a week before he got murdered. And like to me, that I might murder my neighbor if they were just dumping their diarrhea shit. Because also you have to remember, plumbing did exist. And also her family was rich. They were just really cheap. Like they were really well off. Her
So they
dad
just
was
were
just cheap as
they
fuck.
just didn't want to embrace indoor plumbing yet.
Yeah, so it's like their neighbor probably had a fucking toilet that flushed and shit. And actually, they did have a toilet in their basement. He just didn't use it. He would just shit in a pot and then dump it on like the front lawn. Crazy.
Simpler times.
And also, the cops did discuss that, like, one of the main theories of what might have happened is that they might have just been murdered by a completely different person, like someone who was never suspected. Because
Oh yeah,
their
it
house
was so easy back in the day to be like a serial killer that just went from place to
yeah.
place and kill people because there wasn't really like any sort of like unified system of like corroborating data from like different cities or states and like figuring
Yeah.
out like, oh, this person's going from here to here. You would just be
But
like, well,
also,
I guess you did
the
it.
the cops did an investigation where they like basically broke into the house to see if like anyone would notice. Like at one point, like they just like went rogue and like climbed the fence and broke into the house just to see like how easy would it be to do this and get away with it. And they
Mhm.
were like, yeah, it's pretty easy. Like pretty much anyone could have just gotten in here and murdered them, and like nobody would have cared. You know what I mean, or noticed. Also, other fun fact about Lizzie Borden that I learned, and this makes a lot of sense for the time, and I feel like we don't think about this enough when we think of like historical people, but like Lizzie Borden had this sort of reputation for being very like she would give really convoluted answers to questions. Like she didn't have a good alibi, and she never had a good story. She wasn't thinking about it like, oh, I need to tell them exactly what happened as is. Like today, I feel like we've seen enough crime stuff where it's like, yeah, when the cops ask you what were you doing during this time, you give them an alibi, you know.
Yeah.
She didn't do that. She would very much just kind of like be like, I don't know, maybe I was in the barn, maybe I was sleeping, like I don't fucking know. Like that's kind of how her responses were.
And she's like,
And her
maybe I was
attitude
holding an axe. So what?
literally, and her attitude was very like she was very like calm, but the people forget that she was on a combination of morphine and just opium. Like it's like a
Hmm.
combo. She was being prescribed morphine and opium for her like female hysteria or whatever was, you know, whatever they would have called it back then. She had like anxiety because her family was just murdered with an axe. So they gave her a bunch of morphine and opium. So by the time she was on the stand, she was like high out of her fucking mind. Like that's why she wasn't like upset about it. Like she probably didn't murder them.
No, she was just
It's
on a
so
cloud.
crazy. She did. I mean, she was never convicted, so it's not like
Yeah.
she got like in any legal trouble for it. Also, there was a very suspicious character that I feel like a lot of people don't talk about. He was a butcher, and he was like in and around the house a lot, and his alibi was really weird because his alibi was that like during the time of the murder he was on like a bus with like 12 priests or something. He was on a bus with 12 priests, like that was his alibi, so like during the time of the murder, but nobody could like corroborate it. Like people, like they asked people on the bus, did you see him? And everybody's like, no. So like there's this insanely suspicious guy who like was literally a butcher who probably would have been a lot more desensitized to the amount of gore and blood and everything that was happening. He also had other involvement. I don't remember all the specific details, but like he definitely probably did it.
Hmm.
But like nobody really, there was never any like serious suspicion on him for some reason. Also the doctor would like, I remember there was like a note or something. There was some sort of note that was like left at the scene of the crime, and the doctor burned it. And when people were like, hey, why are you like what are you burning, he was like, oh, it's nothing. But like somebody took note of him burning things at the scene of the crime, and then he also
Interesting.
cut off their heads, like the dead body. So they just took the dead bodies like into the kitchen and did the autopsy there. The doctor, he didn't like take them anywhere else. He was just doing the autopsy like on their kitchen table. He cut off their heads and he like boiled their skulls. And then like at the trial he just like presented their skulls. For
I feel
what?
like
I'm not sure.
I feel like their cause of death was very apparent.
You would think so, yeah.
Like I don't think
It's gnarly.
I think it would
There
have
are
been crazy
photographs
to
of
be
it.
like they were hacked to death with an axe a whole bunch of times. There's blood everywhere. Actually, they were poisoned.
Yeah.
Like what? Like what did you think you were gonna find doing that? That is weird,
Yeah.
especially the decapitation.
I mean, they could have been poisoned too. They all had diarrhea for like a week before this.
Well,
Like,
yeah, but you get
that was
diarrhea
like,
for a lot of reasons, and they're all living together, so
well,
like
yeah.
you could all just
One of
get
the reasons
sick.
could be the fact that your dad's dumping his shit on the front lawn
Yeah.
every single fucking morning. Like, that's insane. Because, like, I don't know if you've ever dealt with, like, feces in any sort of real way, but it's like, even when I was dealing with, like, animal feces, like cleaning up cow shit and stuff, it's like, you have to clean that shit up. It doesn't just like go away.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't just like go into the fucking dirt and become dirt. It's like if you're dumping shit in the same spot every single fucking day, you just have a shit pile in your front lawn. Like, that's crazy. I would have murdered him too. Because also their neighbors probably had plumbing. Their neighbors were probably like, why the fuck are you shitting on your front lawn, Steven? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Anyway. I find that very gag-worthy. I don't know why.
Revelation.
Did you have any other gag-worthy topics?
My local drag show got canceled.
Oh, I feel like that's just bad.
Yeah,
Is that
well, gagged me.
gag-worthy? I mean, yeah, I guess
It
so.
sucks. I don't have anywhere to
Yeah.
go out and drag anymore easily unless I want to drive quite a distance. So that sucks.
I think you should just go and drag to, like, your local dive bar.
I think I should just go
See
to
what
like the
happens.
florist and drag.
Maybe an Irish pub.
Where am I gonna find one of the? That's harder to get to than a drag show.
You don't have Irish pubs?
No, we have like one pub that
What
hosted
the
the drag
fuck?
show, and that was it. We have a couple other
Okay,
bars.
I don't understand where the fuck you live, because every time you talk about it, you're like, oh, I'm only like 30 minutes away from a city. But then it's like, but there's nothing where you live somehow, which
No.
is crazy to me.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
That doesn't make any sense.
Our main street's really small, only has like a couple bars, a couple restaurants, and like the pub. And there's only like, and then other than that, it's just like, if you go to the other side of our little city, it's just like, that's where like the strip mall area is. That's just like where like the Ulta,
Oh,
the Target,
we'll go
the
there.
Costco. Well, that over there, like it's just like a Taco Bell and a Chipotle. There's not like, there's not
no,
like,
go do a drag show in the Taco Bell.
I'm saying over there, it's not like there's not like a nightlife or anything. It's just, you know,
if it was a Taco Bell cantina.
just where like the Outback Steakhouses.
I've never been to a Taco Bell cantina. Do people actually go there like and like party?
People get married there. What do you mean?
What?
Yeah, Dola and Opa, shout out to the Momagers, y'all don't know who that is, but they got married at the Taco Bell Cantina in Las Vegas.
That's crazy.
And I went,
Also,
I visited there at TwitchCon 2 years ago.
not to backtrack, but another gag-worthy thing about the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City is the way that Lisa's family
Oh
eats
my god.
food.
Picture this.
The
You're
way that Lisa
you're in a
Barlow's
car.
family eats dinner is insane.
You're in a car with 4 people. It's the 2 parents and 2 children. You got 4 people. They go to like 6 different fast food restaurants for them to each get whatever meal they want and then also whatever dessert they want. So they hit up
crazy.
so many different drive-thrus, and that's just like a normal routine for them.
Literally. It's like they will
Insane.
literally go to like Taco Bell, Wendy's, Jack in the Box, Crumble Cookie. Like they're like Starbucks. Like they're going to so many different places to eat one meal for like 4 people. This isn't even like it's literally they're going to each drive-thru to get one thing.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Crazy.
I can't even like comprehend that. I wouldn't even do that for like if I was with somebody and they were like, "Oh, I really want Wendy's." And I was like, "Well, I'm vegan, so I can't eat at Wendy's." I would be like, "That's fine. I'm just not going to eat anything." And that would be the end of it. I just wouldn't eat. I would just go home and eat later.
It's
You know
like
what I
it
mean?
wouldn't
Like,
be
I
uncommon
can't
for me
even-
to like there were like, times here and there where like back when I lived with my family, like in college, like I'd be like, I'm gonna go to Taco Bueno, do y'all want anything? And they'd be like, can you stop by, you know, McDonald's on the way and get me a whatever? I would do that, but like only one extra stop. I wouldn't be
I feel like
going to
maybe
6 places.
maybe in Utah they have like a strip where everything's next to each other or something. Because like where I live, that's not really a thing. It's like unless you're going to like a combination like Taco Bell KFC, it's like my Taco Bell is like 15 minutes away from the closest Burger King. Like I don't know how, like maybe they just everything's much closer there.
I don't. Everywhere I've lived, there seems to be like a collection of restaurants.
Yeah, that's not how it is in Buffalo. In Buffalo, it's like literally like there's a Taco Bell next to the funeral home, and then there's like a Burger King up the street like 10 minutes. Like it's just very like everything's very spread out.
Like back in like Arlington, it would be like I could drive down like Pioneer and I could hit up like the McDonald's, and then just like hit a U-turn, go the opposite direction, go to like the Taco Bueno or like the Long John Silver's / A&W, and not a long drive from there is like the Sonic and the like. It's not super spread out.
Okay. To me,
like obviously like things are in different places.
If I wanted to recreate like Lisa Barlow's like dinner menu, it would take me an hour. Like just the driving and waiting in drive-thrus alone, like it would probably take me about an hour.
I was like, I could hit up like at least like 4 different restaurants all next to each other, but like obviously.
But also, see, I feel like in places like that, because
McDonald's.
I've seen things like that where it's like there is a bunch of fast food near each other, but the lines are always so long. Because in Maryland, that's kind of how it was. Like there would be like a Wendy's next to a Burger King and all that stuff, but you would have to wait in line for like 20 minutes because it was such a like bustling area.
The only places that
what your hair suddenly made me think of?
What?
Bacon.
Okay.
I don't know why.
Orange bacon?
It's just like the white streak.
God, when you've been vegan for so long, you don't know what bacon looks like anymore.
Bacon energy.
Anyways, I think that's a great place to leave off on.
What were we talking about?
Fast food.
Was there anything else gag-worthy? Any other gag-worthy topics?
I mean, now that we're talking about it, my new hair is pretty gag-worthy, I think.
That's true. Also,
shout out James Mansfield Beauty.
These vegan cupcakes that I got at Wegmans are pretty gag-worthy, but I don't have anything to say about them other than Buffy keeps trying to eat them, and they would kill her if she ate them, so I'm keeping them away from her.
Good.
Yeah, also shout out James Mansfield in general. Yeah. We should have her on the pod.
Yeah.
I'm sure she'll have some gag-worthy topics. Maybe we can juice some Drag Race stuff out of her.
Oh, that'd be fun.
I feel like she says shit to me all the time. Like, even in my Twitch chat. Like, she says the kind of stuff where it's like, if Bussy Queen knew what Twitch was, and she was, like, in my Twitch chat watching James Mansfield speak in my Twitch chat, like, she would be making videos about it.
Be like, breaking news, James Mansfield said in a Twitch chat.
Literally, because James sometimes says things in my Twitch chat where I'm like, that seems like it would be controversial if like the Drag Race fans heard you say that. You know what I mean? But also, I know James. She's like she's one of those people I feel like she just doesn't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Also, hi James, if you're listening. James listens.
Hi James.
She literally texts me all the time, and she's like, "Why aren't you fucking releasing new podcasts?" I'm like, "I don't fucking."
Well, you had a job for a while, and that really got in the way of our flow.
And then she's like, "Why aren't you posting like sexy doming videos on OnlyFans?" I'm like, "I don't know." Because I'm lazy. Subscribe to my OnlyFans. I'm lazy. There's stuff on there. Anyway, that's more importantly, I want you all, I'm speaking directly to the audience, I'm breaking the fourth wall. I want you to tell us your gag-worthy topics.
Yeah.
Either in the comments, or what you could do. We have an Instagram, right?
Yeah.
Do you have access to it?
Yes.
Great. I couldn't remember. What you could do also is you could send us voice notes of your gag-worthy topics. I love when podcasts do this shit. I listen to podcasts all the time where it's like they'll have their viewers like send in like a voice recording of them talking about whatever the topic is. So yeah, either comment your gag-worthy topics or send us fucking voice notes about them. Tell us a little story. I want to know. I want to know you. I want to get to know you all intimately. And we'll read them and maybe listen to them on the podcast.
Yeah.
If they're good. If they suck, sorry.
No.
Also, we do have a Patreon as well.
Yeah, so subscribe to the channel.
Join us.
if you enjoyed our little gab session. Um, if you want to support us further, we do have a Patreon. It's patreon.com/Gagworthy. And you can also get in on our watch parties that we do quite frequently. We do them every weekend, and oftentimes after we do our Twitch streams. If you want to just hang out, chill, watch some stuff that we'll probably be talking about on the podcast. And yeah, follow us on Twitch.
Great. Yeah, we're also both Twitch streamers, so follow us there if you want to follow us. Or if you don't,
If you like
fuck
video
you. Why
games.
are you here? Why are you here? Then why are you here? If you don't want to follow us.
I just want to stare
Great.
at my beauty.
I feel like hostile today.
Yeah, very confrontational.
I don't know what's wrong with me. It's all the butch like home labor I've been doing. It's giving me toxic
Raising your T
masculinity.
levels.
Yeah, it's raising my T levels. Oh my god, my T levels, my T levels. Anyway, see you all next week.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
bye everybody.